Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm Lena.
I'm Lauren.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Did you find the place okay?
Oh yeah, it was really easy.
Okay, well make yourself comfortable. If you need anything like a drink of water or need to go to the bathroom or anything.
Yeah, no, I'm good right now.
Okay. Well, let's get started here.
Okay.
So I guess just kind of tell me how things are going today and how, how you're feeling and just some general things.
Lately, life has been just really stressful, with school and everything, but it's coming to an end, so I'm just, really waiting it out. But today is actually a pretty good day.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So I guess what are some things that you're finding stressful? Or is it specifically today or just in general or?
Well, my whole semester this semester has just been really stressful. I don't know if it's just because it's my junior year.
Okay.
So,
and you're in college?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm in college. So, just it's really getting down to the nitty gritty. Everything, just has to be spot on.
Right.
So it's just overwhelming.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. And I guess my boyfriend and I broke up a while ago, and I kind of started seeing this other guy, but I'm still kind of seeing my boyfriend too, so that's just been kind of crazy.
So when you say crazy, does that mean that things are kind of complicated and it's adding extra stress to your school schedule and everything going on with school?
Yeah, it's pretty complicated. I mean, they don't really, know about each other, so trying to keep them separated is kind of becoming hard because they both want to, hang out at, the same time or whatever, so I have to make up, an excuse if I don't want to hang out with one or the other. So it's just, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, before we get talking about more personal things,
Okay.
I think we should do a informed consent form.
Okay.
And that just is making sure that you understand, that we're having confidentiality just between you and me.
Okay.
And if anything seems to be problematic or any harm is involved, then I would need to let someone else know.
Okay.
So let's just have you fill that out. And then just make sure you read over everything, and then you can sign your name at the bottom.
All right, perfect. There you go.
Perfect. All right, well, that's just a way to make sure that I don't want to start talking about anything that you don't want to talk about without knowing this. So.
Okay, yeah, no, that's good.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit more about that. Can you explain more about your situation with your boyfriend and your ex-boyfriend?
Well, so I just found out a couple weeks ago that I'm a month and a half pregnant. And like I said, I've been seeing, both boys, so I'm not quite sure which one it is that is the father.
Okay.
So, I don't really know, I know I remember learning in school that you can do, genetic testing or whatever, but I don't know, how far along you have to be in order to get that, and I don't really know if I want to tell one or the other both, that it's possibly theirs.
Okay.
Just because I don't want, I don't want one or the other to, be, happy about it or something and then it not be theirs. And I don't want to, freak them out before I know for sure whose it is. So I kind of am stuck. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do.
So, as you said, you feel like you are stuck in this situation right now. And also the fact, you mentioned genetic testing. Do you mean paternal testing, like testing for
Yeah,
the
yeah,
okay,
paternal testing.
okay, because genetic you can do both. Genetic testing is just more testing for maybe issues or certain linked, and
Like
inheritance of
genetic
disease.
things,
Yeah,
like diseases or something like
if
that.
if you're a carrier
Okay.
or if the father is a carrier too.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, there is paternal testing as well, and
So that's like DNA testing.
right,
Okay.
yep, and because and it is a very complex and complicated situation,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean I can imagine how you would feel.
Yeah.
I and you can do paternal testing at any point. I can check into that a little bit more as well, but we can look that up and
yeah, that would be probably the best thing to do, and especially if you could like do it at any point.
mm-hmm.
I'd probably want to do it sooner than later, just so I can tell.
And
I don't know.
right. And do you feel comfortable talking to both your current boyfriend and your ex-boyfriend about this?
Well, I mean, I would tell both no matter what, but just the fact that like I don't want to be like you're possibly the dad if I don't know for sure. So
Right.
just being like if I find out, I mean, yes, I'm comfortable with both of them. It was just like my ex-boyfriend and I, we kind of broke up just because we didn't really have a lot of time for each other.
Okay.
So it wasn't really that we like had a falling out or that we don't like still love each other or whatever. It was kind of mutual.
Okay.
So I mean, like, yes, I'm totally comfortable with both of them. I just like I want to be able to let one kind of go if the other is
right.
the dad. So that's just kind of why I want to get a DNA test or whatever.
Right.
Before I tell.
I'm wondering if you were to ask both your boyfriend and your ex-boyfriend to do a paternal testing, um, how would they react, or how do you think they would react?
Gosh, I didn't even think about that part that I had to ask them too. I don't really know. Maybe. Well, I suppose I can. I mean, I didn't really like look back really closely on like kind of like when I was ovulating and who I was with most of the time, so I could probably go back and do that before I would even ask them, I suppose. And then, depending on which one was maybe with me more often that week or whatever, I could probably ask them first, I guess. But I don't know how do you ask someone something like that without giving it away?
Right. And so, if you were to ask them, do they know about each other? Or do they know at least about your relationship with both of them? With each of them separately?
Like my current boyfriend knows that my ex-boyfriend and I didn't break up because we were like mad at each other. It was more of a mutual thing. But I'm not really sure if he is like caught on to the fact that my ex and I still like hang out.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not really sure. But like my ex-boyfriend does know about my new boyfriend, but we just don't really talk about it ever. Okay. So I don't know. I mean, like they like do know about each other, but they don't really know, like to what extent.
Okay.
I hang out with either or.
I think, well, and I'm trying not to focus so much on how they would feel because you're the primary importance in this situation, and I guess what are your feelings about your relationship, I guess, with your current boyfriend, and then the fact that you're not really telling your current boyfriend about your relationship with your ex-boyfriend?
Well, I mean, like, my new boyfriend, like, we're together, but we kind of aren't. Like, we're, like, exclusive, but we didn't really put that label on it.
Okay.
But I guess technically we're not really all that exclusive, but, I don't know. I guess I kind of feel a little bad about it because it's sort of like cheating, but at the same time, like, he knew like why we had broken up,
Okay.
and kind of that I wasn't really that I'm not over my ex.
Okay.
So I don't really know. I guess I never really put too much thought into it.
Okay. And just what are your personal feelings about this whole pregnancy? Like, you finding out, and how did you find out?
Well, I had my yearly women's exam or whatever, so that's just kind of happened to fall, I guess, in the right time, I guess. So I don't know. I guess it hasn't really like completely like sunk in yet. I've kind of, because it is the end of the semester or whatever, so I kind of have just been trying to not really focus on it. I mean, but I have been like, I went out and got like prenatal vitamins, and I've been like trying to eat kind of healthier, and so I'm kind of making like small efforts, but not at the same time, just like trying to kind of, I guess, like push it aside until the semester's over.
Okay.
So
it came as a surprise to you.
Yeah.
And how far along are you?
Just a month and a half.
A month and a half.
And 3
Okay.
weeks, yeah.
So you haven't had much time at all to process this information.
Right, yeah, because I only found out 2.5 weeks ago.
Okay.
So yeah, it just, and like obviously I'm not like showing or anything yet, so it hasn't. I just kind of have been like not thinking about it.
Right. Well, I mean, I do hear that you're doing two very good things. You're eating healthier, and you bought prenatal vitamins, so you are taking care of yourself. I mean, I'm sure that the doctor can tell you some other things to think about.
Right.
But I'm also wondering, I know that school right now is kind of your big priority, just finishing up the semester, but have you told anybody else about you being pregnant, or about, at least even feeling as stressed as you are?
Well, I've told my best friend, but she's the only other person I've told, and I would really hope wouldn't tell anyone else. Like, I really trust her with it. So, and she's kind of been, just been helping me out, like with little things, like she'll make dinner, or like, like check up on me or whatever if I'm in my room doing homework or so. And she, I don't know. I guess she's just kind of indifferent about it.
Okay.
So, yeah, she's like happy and excited, but I don't know. She's like happy it's not her.
Well, it sounds like you have a good relationship with your friend, and that she is looking out for you. Does she seem understanding of the situation?
Yeah, she's like more freaked out about it than I am. She's like, "How are you gonna tell them? Oh my gosh!"
So you feel comfortable talking to her and coming to her for any assistance?
Right.
Or, okay.
Yep.
Is there a family member that you're able to talk to, or?
Well, I would probably tell my dad before I would tell my mom. But that is kind of like the same thing. Like, I kind of want to have like all my information before I go and tell either one of them. So, and that would kind of include like knowing who the dad is. So
a big part of that, you want to be able to find out more information about your pregnancy, and just be able to kind of find out who the father is. And, and by finding out the father, do you think that will relieve a lot of stress?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that would be something that we would really want to figure out what our next step is as far as options are. do you think that your ex-boyfriend and your current boyfriend would be willing to go through with this and take a paternity test?
I mean, I wouldn't see, like, why not.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that they would. Maybe I could just say it's, like, for school or something, but I don't really want to lie. So I don't know. Maybe I could. Well, I suppose I could just wait. Semester's over in, like, a couple of weeks. I mean, I suppose I could go talk to my doctor about it first and, like, kind of finish out the semester and then maybe talk to them.
Your doctor seems like a good resource too.
Yeah.
And do you feel comfortable talking to your doctor about this as well?
Oh yeah, he's
Okay.
been my doctor for years.
Okay. Well, I think that it doesn't. As far as I can see, I don't think there are risks in waiting to find out who the father is.
Okay.
Your number one priority is taking care of yourself and making sure that you are doing, what's best for you in your current situation.
Right.
And the temporary fact of it is that you have classes right now,
Right.
and that's your first focus, and you only have a couple of weeks left.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess the next step would be to figure out what it is, or how do you take the paternity test and figure out who the father is.
Right.
And that would kind of be the next thing for you to figure out is
Right.
what happens after you find out.
Okay.
So I think those are, I guess it's a little bit of advice. Just think about yourself and make sure that you have that self-care.
Right.
And your friend seems to be really helpful with that too. So, but let's schedule another appointment very soon and
Okay.
discuss some other things. And I can actually help you find out some resources as far as the paternity testing goes.
Oh yeah, that'd be perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Have a nice day.
You too.
Oh my gosh, there's 17 minutes.